So why is Hollywood's narrative turning dangerous for creators like Nerdrotic? In a shocking twist, online attacks are no longer just criticism, they're personal threats that reflect a deeper issue within the entertainment industry. Before we get started, if you're new to the channel and enjoying the content, make sure to subscribe and hit that bell icon so you never miss an update. As we dig into this unsettling saga, you'll discover how the established media has fueled a toxic narrative, demonizing passionate fans and critics alike. But what happens when this narrative spills over into real-world threats? Is it merely a reflection of Hollywood's fear of losing control, or is there something more sinister at play? Stay tuned as we unravel the shocking implications of this situation and why it's crucial to respect differing opinions before it spirals out of control. It's hard to ignore the recent wave of hostility directed at Nerdrotic online. This isn't just a personal attack, it's a broader assault on all YouTube movie critics and fans alike. This incident has gained significant traction, even catching the attention of major accounts like DramaAlert. What sets this attack apart from typical online harassment is the disturbing implications behind the message. When critics say things like Nerdrotic is a piece of trash that we've allowed to operate among us for too long, it hints at a much darker sentiment. The language used here is not just crude, it's indicative of a hostile environment that seeks to vilify and silence dissenting voices. To truly understand why someone would resort to such extreme measures against a content creator, we must look at the role the Hollywood media plays in this situation. They have fostered a narrative that paints online fandom as toxic and problematic, often labeling critics with derogatory. However, if you look closely, creators like Nerdrotic are not the villains they're made out to be. For instance, he has praised shows like House of the Dragon, which features a female lead. Similarly, Critical Drinker has shown appreciation for international cinema like Korean films. This suggests that their critiques are grounded in a genuine love for good storytelling, not in any sort of bigotry.
One thing I've come to realize about the world of entertainment is that if Hollywood is no longer willing or able to give the audience what they want, well, there's plenty of other places that are, and one of those places just so happens to be South Korea. Whether it's producing classic action thrillers like Oldboy, compellingly dark comedies like Parasite, or gripping psychological thrillers like Squid Game, they just seem to keep churning out absolute bangers.
At the core of it all, what these critics truly desire is simply to enjoy compelling stories and quality films, just like any other movie enthusiast. Unfortunately, the Hollywood media's decision to portray a skewed narrative has led some individuals to take their frustrations to dangerous extremes, allowing these feelings to consume their lives until they finally explode in acts of aggression, such as the attacks on Nerdrotic. It's crucial to understand that the responsibility for this behavior doesn't lie solely with the individual launching the attacks. It ultimately traces back to the source. In this case, it appears to be the Hollywood media. What makes this situation even more troubling is the realization that the Hollywood media likely understands the impact their words can have. They must recognize that it only takes one person to wholeheartedly embrace this toxic narrative, potentially leading them to actions that extend well beyond online hostility. This underscores the real danger of demonizing individuals to such an extent that the conversation shifts from discussing ideas and films to personal vendettas. The way Hollywood frames toxic fandom makes these fans appear dehumanized and less intelligent than others, which is far from the truth. Fandom is simply a collection of passionate individuals who love movies and franchises. Everyone has their interests and affiliations, whether it's a film, a book series, or a sports team. Being a fan is a fundamental aspect of the human experience, and it's essential to remember that the passion for a particular movie or franchise is just as valid as any other form of enthusiasm. When you look at sports fans, whether they support a football team or a rugby club, it's clear that these individuals aren't inhuman or toxic, they are simply passionate about something they love. It's incredibly disheartening that the entertainment media, which should be celebrating fandom, an essential part of the industry, has instead contributed to this troubling situation. While it's unclear if this damage was intentional, it's hard to believe they are unaware of the potential consequences of their narratives, especially as they repeatedly vilify YouTubers who are merely sharing their thoughts on films. What's even more baffling is that Hollywood media will likely shift their stance once again. Recently, Marvel made headlines by letting go of several activist producers and signaling a return to prioritizing storytelling and catering to fans. As a result, the media will likely adjust their narrative and begin praising Marvel fandom again, conveniently forgetting the past 4 years of labeling fans with derogatory terms. This inconsistency highlights a disturbing pattern where the industry's priorities shift based on what serves their interests at any given moment. It's absolutely absurd, but it's evident that the media will change their narrative again. If they are aware that this flip is coming, they should seriously reflect on why they spent the past 4 years portraying fans as the worst kind of people. Just think about it, if they had succeeded in silencing channels like Nerdrotic and Critical Drinker, Marvel wouldn't feel the need to listen to the audience, and I would argue that the changes we're hearing about wouldn't be happening at all. These channels play a more significant role in the industry than many realize because they truly represent the heartbeat of fandom, which is the foundation of the entertainment world. In simple terms, without fans, movies won't make money. Franchises like Marvel and Star Wars depend heavily on their fan base to thrive, so it's essential to show them respect and recognize their humanity. As we wrap up this discussion, I urge everyone listening to avoid dehumanizing someone simply because you disagree with their viewpoint. Instead, let's treat each other with respect and keep our conversations focused on ideas, perspectives, and opinions without resorting to personal attacks or vilification. At the end of the day, we are all movie enthusiasts. Let's keep our discussion centered on the films themselves and not let things spiral out of control. We can clearly see where this path can lead, and I doubt any of us wants to go down that road. Let's aim to rise above the toxic behaviors often perpetuated by Hollywood media, keeping our focus on the ideas and perspectives that make discussions enriching rather than divisive. It's truly absurd how movie fans and critics are being targeted as if they were politicians. Seriously, can we just make movies fun again? It's perfectly okay for fans to have differing opinions on certain films and perspectives. That diversity of thought is what makes fandom so vibrant and exciting. However, let's ensure that our disagreements stay rooted in ideas rather than spiraling into extreme reactions. So, what do you think about this whole situation? I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. I'll catch you all in the next video here on Movie Saga.